Hello everyone, so it's good to see you all again. I'm Natasha and welcome back. So today we're gonna, continue our fourth chapter, and that is mathematical induction. So yeah, it's principle of mathematical induction. We can also say mathematical induction. So I have some questions to discuss with you, and these are JEE questions. So yeah, I can say these, we'll be discussing two questions. I've written the first question. So first, let's solve the, this question, and then we'll move on to our second question, okay? Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so question's already written, so let's read it. What is it? Find the sum of n terms of, okay, so it's just a statement given to us. Yeah, it's just like a statement as it's related to mathematical induction. So one thing that we're going to use is sigma. The symbol. Yeah, this is what we'll call sigma, isn't it? You can also say summation. I think now you'll get it. So it's sigma, so we're going to use sigma as it's talking about we have to find the sum of n terms of, so it's like, it's just going on, and we don't know where is it like ending. So let's just put value n, okay? Just right at the end, okay? Yeah. So let me just rub it, and yeah, so let's solve it. Solution. So we don't know like what the number is gonna be there. So we're gonna put n terms at so n, we're gonna put n at the end, okay? So it's gonna be Tn. So this Tn's mainly for the term n, okay? Term n. Yeah. So what will be a term n? It's going to be like, according to this statement, what is it going to be? As I've just told you that we're going to write it in the form of a mathematical induction, like in the form we write a statement. So that's how I'm going to write it. So it's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 2 upon 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 upon 2 plus till n. And so this is what we're having. Got it? And one thing that I'll be writing is that, like, I'm just gonna rub this thing, okay? So let's just forget about all these things. And one thing that we're going to in the statement form, we're supposed to write this thing, but we're actually not gonna write this, okay? So let's write this in the really easy way. Got it? So what is it exactly saying is we have three digits, yeah. 3 digits, and it's 1, 2, and 3. That's it, okay? Yeah. So what is it going to be? So we're just gonna write it in the simple way as it's for the term n. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus till n. Got it? That's what we're going to write. And upon n. Okay? Because we don't know if it's going to follow the same rule in the next one. Is it also going to be the 2 as the denominator or what? So we're not sure. So it can get changed. So we don't know. So I'm just going to put n in the denominator. Okay? Yeah, so this is going to be a term n, so this is how I write it. Got it? So now let's talk about our sum of n. So now we're going to talk about the sum of n terms. So sum of n. So I'm just going to write s then. So what is it going to be? So as we're doing the sum, we're going to use sigma, as I've just told you. So for using sigma, what I'll write is first, I'll make this symbol, which I'll say sigma, got it? And then what I'll say, this thing, the same thing, this term n. Tn. Got it? Okay, so is equal to what? The terms that we're having. So first we can see is 1 plus 2. So we can see some a pattern getting followed. Like if we're gonna add 1 plus 1, we're gonna get 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So it's like it's just having a pattern like we're adding 1 to every digit, and we're getting its next answer. So what I'll say is n plus 1, okay? Yeah, actually I'm gonna write this, in this continuation. So what I'll write is, for right now, I'm gonna write it in the simple form, okay? So it's gonna be sigma, what we're finding is a t of n. Is it, it's actually term n, okay? Yeah, Tn. So what is it? So it's gonna be set the place of Tn. I'm gonna write this thing as it's the value, so it's equal to this thing. Okay, so let me draw this again. Okay, yeah. So what is it? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n and upon n. Got it? And now I'm gonna write it like this way. So, and now it's gonna be what is it going to be? It's gonna be actually n plus n into n plus 1. So that's how we're gonna write it. And in the denominator we'll have 2. Got it? And in denominator we'll have 2. How? It's just according to this statement. Got it? It's just according to that statement. So what I'll say is, yeah, don't forget to include this n. Yeah. So according to this thing, I'm saying that this n, the number that we're having, and one thing that I just told you right now was n plus 1. So it's just saying we're having a number, a digit, and from which, like, if we're adding 1 in it, and so we're getting a value, new value, okay? So like it's 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4, and like, so on. So 2n, and this is in bracket. So we have the n just right here, this n and the n plus 1 according to the statement given to us. Got it? Okay, so let me write the answer from here. So let's just continue. So what is it going to be? So as we can see, it's in the denominator we have 2n. 2n. Got it? So I can write it like this way. 1 upon 2. Just have a look. 1 upon 2. Then after 8, I'm going to put bracket in which I'm going to use sigma. Got it? Yeah, I'm going to use sigma. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. So I'm going to use sigma. Okay, so we have a sigma in which I'm going to write the value n, okay? N. Have a look. Sigma n. So what is this n? The n will have the n terms. So we have to find the sum of n terms. So that's what we're writing. The sum of n terms. Got it? Okay, so the next one we will say according to this thing, this statement. So what I'll write? Oh, actually there will be, I think it's alright. I thought to make it a little more bigger, but I think it's alright. Okay, so now again sigma, and now 1. Got it? Yeah, so 1 upon 2, and in the bracket we have sigma n plus sigma 1. So what is this all? So as we have to find the sum of n terms. So we didn't know what will be the sum of n terms. So for that we're using sigma. Got it? So it's the easiest way to find the sum of those terms, like these kind of terms. Got it? Yeah. So let's continue. So now it has become really easy. Nothing's hard. And so the next step is going to be the same, 1 upon 2, and then n plus 1 upon 2. Oh, wait a second. Now in this one we're not gonna have 2n, okay? No need for the n. We're just only gonna write 2 in the denominator, okay? 2 plus n. Just have a look. Clear? So this is gonna be like this. So this is like the whole thing we're having. So how about using square brackets as a place of these normal brackets? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna use a square bracket. That will be more better. Okay? Yeah. So we have n, and just right here I'm gonna use these square brackets. And now what will be our value? So just the last two steps that I'm gonna write here is gonna be 1 upon 2, which is just right here, is not gonna be here no more. Okay, so we're gonna just add it. We're not gonna add it actually. Some calculation will be there, and then we're gonna get this answer: n plus 1 plus 2n plus 2n upon 4. Got it? Yeah. And then we'll get it's actually let me write it. Easiest way. Okay, so we're gonna write it everything in the easiest way. So n plus 3 upon 4. And this is our answer. That's it. We're done. So we have to find out the sum of these n terms. Just have a look. This is what we have to do. So this is what we were asked to, just do in this question. So let me just tell you again. So we're going to repeat this again. So as we had the term n, got it? Term n. And we had to find, the sum of the n terms, okay? Sum of the n terms. Okay, and so what I wrote was the value of Tn, which was this thing, and after it, the n, we had two values, n plus 1 and n, and in the denominator we had 2, so we didn't know like if it's gonna be like what if it's gonna be something like this, a pattern like this, 1 plus 2 plus 4, like till let's say 26. Okay, let's say 26. So and upon it's like 2 for the 21, I don't know, or 22 or something else. So we don't know exactly. So it's just according to this statement. So if we're gonna actually look at this pattern, this is not like this way. Okay, it's nothing that. Like it's just following this pattern that in the denominator we're always gonna have this 2. According to these things, for now it's gonna be 2, and in the numerator we're gonna add at the new values like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So that's what we did. So in this denominator we got 2n. Okay, at 2 as the denominator was already given, and n we put it. So then in the next step, what I did was, what we had to find was the sum of this n plus the sum of 1. Okay, so this is sigma 1. Got it? Yeah. So, I'm going to tell you something about sigma 2. So, you don't need to get confused. And yeah, of course, as it's a JEE question, so it's something a little confusing maybe, but if we're just gonna have a look at this clearly, like we'll be able to understand it clearly. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, so the next thing we have our half. Like how did we get that half? So first is the sigma n plus the sigma 1. So 1 is for this value, and the n we had just right here. So what I did was this thing. Okay, yeah, and what was left in the numerator? 1. So 1 upon 2, that's what I did. So it's really easy, isn't it? So in the next step, the half stayed like this same way. So 1 upon 2. Then in the bracket, what happened right here was what was the sigma n? So it was just this thing. Okay, so n plus 1 upon 2 plus n. Got it? Plus n as at the place of 1. What I'm gonna write is it's just really easy. So Then which was just right here, it's just get, so it get formed like somewhere, and so what I will say is that this 1 upon 2 sigma n plus sigma 1. Okay, so this is what is basically for the sum of n and all these things. So in this thing I just wrote the same thing which was just given to us right here. Okay, and then I wrote the plus n. Then in the next step, what I did, I just n to n plus 1 stayed just right its place, plus 2n, as n was there, so it came in the numerator as a, of course it's going to be numerator. So then the 2n, and then the denominator we got 4. One thing you can see is the 1 upon 2 is no more here. So what we did was, I included this in this, and through this, 2 to the 4 we get. So this is like through this way. It was just a really easy way. So like through this way, I added all those things. Okay, So this n and n plus 1 plus 2n upon 4. This was really easy, and what I did in the last was so 2n we had. Okay, and for this value, 4 stayed exactly same. Okay, so and the n this stayed exactly same. So it's just matter. The only thing that matters here is n plus 1 plus 2n, and so from this we got n plus 3. That's it. So it was really simple, nothing to get confused. It was simple. So now I'm going to tell you something about sigma as maybe like if something we're just confused about. So let's just clear this. So what is this symbol? So we call it sigma. Okay, and what is it? So what is it exactly? So it's it is a symbol which we call sigma, and it is it indicates summation. Summation is it's just like the sum. So it's doing the sum of the n terms, and that's why we used this symbol. Okay, sigma. And so and is used as a shorthand notation for the sum of terms that follow a pattern. So that's what we can see, that it's following a pattern, and through this way, like, we had to find the sum of these terms. Okay, that in the given pattern. So it's like following a pattern, as we can see. So this is what sigma means. And if I'm gonna just for the example, we can say the example like the sum of first 4 squared integers. So the sum of first 4 squared integers will be 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared. So it's just really easy. So it's just in a really simple form in which we can see that the term is of the it's in the form like it's in the form I squared. Okay, so I is just like I'm gonna say this one thing, remember, I is just a symbol for now. Okay, so it's saying I squared. So this I squared means that it's just following this form. It's just following this pattern like 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared. Okay, so what is it saying? That it's in the simple form I squared. Okay, so I squared. What is it doing? It's actually the same like this. Got it? Yeah. So and the next thing that we're gonna have is so each term is of the form I squared, as we can see. And we add up values from I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 4. So now I'm going to add up the value from I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 4. Okay? So how are we going to write this in, or short summation notation? So it's just really easy. So I'm going to use the sigma symbol. Okay? So what do we have to find? So it's what's its like form? So it's each term is of I square. Okay, so each term, like each term is of the form I square. Got it? Yes. So I square is going to be just right here. And how many integers are we having? We are having 4 squared integers. Okay, so I'm going to write this at the top. And what are we going to write this at the bottom? So we're going to write that I is equal to 1. Okay, I is equal to 1. So through this way, like I'm going to write this, and now what I'm going to do is just really simple. We're going to write the thing that's given to us, the 4 squared integers. The 4 squared integers. So so the 4 squared integer is going to be 3 squared until 4 squared, and then finally we're going to get 20. Isn't it? So it's like really easy, in which we are just doing the summation. So it indicates summation, and it's used as shorthand notation. Basically for adding something, adding the terms like if this pattern, or if they're like following a pattern. So that's what sigma is used for. So that's what we do. So 1 square will be 1, 2 square will be 4, 3 square will be 9, 4 square will be 16. If we're going to add them all, then we're going to get 20. As 16 plus 16 plus 14. 16 plus 14, we're going to get 20. That's it. So, that was really easy. So, nothing hard. So, we just have the form. So, first we're going to have a look at this form. Like, in which form is it? So, it was in the form like I square. Okay, I square. And how many integers that we had? 4. Okay, 4 squared integers. And from, it was starting like we had values from I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 4. Okay? Yeah, so that's what we did. 4 squared integers, and we add up the values from I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 4. And it was all in the form I square. Okay? So that's what it was. So now we're going to move on to our second question, and so let's do it. Now I'm going to rub the board. Yeah, so now I'm going to, just clean the board. So let me clean this all off. I'm cleaning this off, so just wait a second. Now we'll move on to our second question, and second question is also related to mathematical induction, and will be a JEE question, of course. Okay, we're almost done. I'm almost done. Yeah, so let me write the second question, and so what's the second question? So second question is given if P of n. So P of n is the statement given to us, and it is equal to n square plus n belongs to natural numbers, and belongs to natural numbers, then P of n is dash integer justify. Okay, so this is the question given to us. It's saying if P of n is P of n is equal to n square plus n, and it's like it's for all the values. N belongs to the natural numbers. Then P of n is, so it's just we have to fill up this. So what's going to be here? So let's just find it out. Okay, so we have to justify it. So let's get started. Okay, so what's the P of n? So P of n is n square plus n. Oh, wait, let me write it again. Yeah. Okay, so P of n is n squared plus n. So now I'm gonna write to like this way. So for the P of 1, what is it going to be? So if I'm gonna put the value 1 at the place of n, then what is it going to be? We're gonna follow this pattern, and it's gonna be 1 square, which is gonna be 1. 1 plus 1 will be 2. And for P of 2, it's going to be 2 squared, it will be 4. 4 plus 1 will be 5. So, yeah, one thing that n is going to be, at the place of n we put 2. So here it's going to be 2, not 1. Okay, so that's like a mistake that I didn't even notice it. So 4 plus 2. So it's 2, so n is also going to be 2. So 4 plus 2, which is going to be 6. 3 squared will be 9. And 9, as the value of n is, according to this one, a value of n will be 3. So 9 plus 3, which is going to be 12. 12, isn't it? 12. It's going to be 12. So, P of 3, it's going to be 12. P of 2, it's going to be 6. P of 1 will be 2. So what we can see is this pattern, 2, 6, and 12. So what is this all? So what we can see is, if we're gonna, if we're just looking at if we're just having a look at the first 3 numbers, through this we observe that this statement, this thing, that n is true for, n belongs to natural number. So it actually belongs to. So we observe, I'm going to write this in a small statement. We observe that, we observe that this n that belongs to the natural numbers. Yeah, so just have a look, isn't it? Of course. So what I'm going to say is, so this fill up. So what I'm going to write here, I'm actually going to write this, that I'm going to write that P of n is always, what is it going to be? It's a positive, positive integer. So P of n is always going to be an even positive integer. Even positive integer. Okay, so first thing was that it's going to be always an even positive integer. So it's always an even positive integer. Got it? Okay? Yeah. So, so that's it. And so P of n is always an even positive integer. So at this, so just right here, I'm going to write this at always. I think no need to write it. Let me just, leave it like the way it was. Okay, leave it. So we got the answer that P of n is always an even positive integer. Through this way, we can see that this is even, and they're all positive. Okay, so that's what we can see. And yeah, in integer, like also the values can be negative, but so that's what I wrote, even positive integer. Okay, but if it would if it would have been natural numbers, yeah, it was saying n belongs to natural number. In natural numbers, like no negative values will come, and we can see it clearly. So that's what it was. So that's what it was, and we have solved. So this second question was super duper easy. So like it was completely easy, and we solved it. So we have finished both the questions, and I hope you all have understood everything. Like in the first question too, related to the question which was related to the sum of the n terms, and in this question, and for this question too. So that's all for today, and in the next video will be I don't know what we're gonna do. So maybe like we'll discuss a new chapter, or like I really don't know what we're gonna do. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.